Now welcome, folks, I mean it from the heart, because the greatest show is about to start. It's happening right here before your very eyes, and one thing's for sure, you're in for quite a surprise. But then nothing's quite as it seems to be at the greatest show in the galaxy.
Hi everyone, TARDISGuy123 here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the greatest show in the galaxy. And this is a 7th Doctor story starring Sylvester McCoy as the Doctor and Sophie Aldred as Ace. So you have quite a nice cover down there with the Chief Clown, the Gods of Ragnarok in the background, 7th Doctor there, Ace there, and then the Psychic Circus show tent right there. So yeah, standard stuff. Other than that, quite a long title there, so it's done in a slightly smaller font just to fit it all in. And you can see that again on the side there. Let's turn that back. See it, quite a small font once again there. And then on the back here, just get the light off that. There we go. We have Doctor Who starring Sylvester McCoy, The Greatest Show in the Galaxy by Stephen Wyatt, who also wrote the Paradise Towers, which was a story I quite liked, if you remember that review. And now onto special features. We have, let's move that a bit closer so you can see them. Commentary, and then the show must go on, which is the standard making of. Psychic Circus, Remembrance demo, which is just 2 scenes from Remembrance of the Daleks rescored by Mark Ayers, I think that's how it's pronounced, I'm not entirely sure. And then Tomorrow's Times, the 7th Doctor. I quite liked Tomorrow's Times series, to be honest, and that's quite a good one, presented by Annika Wills. Then you have Victoria Wood's Doctor Who sketch from Victoria Wood as seen on TV. Haven't actually watched that, so I can't say much about that. And then you have loads of other little bits and pieces on there also. Let's now open this up. There is the inside right there. Just turn that a bit, little disc, and now let's take the booklet out. You have Chief Clown on the front there with the standard text. Then here, 4 parts, standard length really. And then in the middle, have all those special features once again, all fit onto one single disc. So then, what do I think of this as a story? What do I think of the greatest show in the galaxy? I think it is a very strong story, once again by Stephen Wyatt. I quite like him as a writer. He only wrote 2, which is a bit unfortunate. I think he only wrote 2 anyway. But I think he is a very strong writer and very good at this kind of like unusual sort of story, and quite scary sort of story as well, where it takes not the everyday, I'd say, but it's hard to explain really, but it doesn't take kind of like standard kind of like gothic horror stuff. It takes a little bit more unusual take on horror, which is arguably even more scary, to be honest. So let's just stop those lines coming across the screen there. No, I'm not going to stop, unfortunately, but anyway, let's just keep putting my hand in front of it every once in a while. But anyway, back to the story itself. Got the Chief Clown is a wonderful character, and of course clowns are quite scary, for me at least. You know, people either love them or hate them. They're like Marmite in a way, but you know, clowns are wonderfully creepy in a way, and I think the Chief Clown is very good because he's kind of like got 2 personalities. He's got the showman type personality, where he's kind of like speaks in that high typical clownish voice, which is really quite wonderful. But then there's also that deep undertone where he kind of like speaks in this low voice and is quite creepy, and I really do like the contrast between them. That is very nice. And you know, he's sort of like in the background for a lot of the story as well. He's not kind of like always in the foreground directing things. He is quite a creepy character, I will say. Wonderfully played by, I've forgotten the actor's name, Ian Edgington, that's it, who also played, I believe, I can't remember the character's name now, but it was in Big Finish, Death in the Family. He played Nobody No One, that's it. That was once again with Sylvester McCoy and Sophie Aldred. But anyway, back to this story. We've got lots of other nice characters in there as well. It's very good for characters, I feel. Captain Cook, the famous intergalactic explorer, is a wonderful character also, and sort of like a twist on the classic adventurer type thing, and actually he turns out to be something different than you'd expect him to be, which is a nice twist in there as well. And he's also quite a menacing character when you get to know him, really, so I like that side to him as well. So yeah, this is very good at creating three-dimensional characters, I will say. For Stephen Wyatt, there are a lot of three-dimensional characters in this, which kind of have different sides to their personality and whatnot, and those are brought out quite well in the performances. The idea of the Psychic Circus itself, you know, it's nothing too unusual. I feel they could have gone a bit further with the idea of a circus in space. That's one thing I will say, because it could have just been a circus on Earth for all anybody knows. It is quite a standard circus stuff, so I feel they could have gone another direction with that, except for the robot clowns, of course, but that's the only real thing that takes advantage of the sci-fi setting of this story. Although I don't think it would have been as effective set on Earth for some reason. I'm not sure. I just kind of like the desolate nature of it being set on the planet Segonax. You know, just, you know, it's a quarry, but quarries do a good job as alien planets because they're desolate and whatnot. And this is, as quarries on Doctor Who go, this is quite a nice quarry. So yeah, I will say that. Now, Ace in this, you know, her character doesn't like clowns, and that is understandable, and it fits with her character quite well, I will say. It's not kind of like a character trait that's just pulled out of nowhere and forced in there. It's a character trait that actually feels organic, and while it's not mentioned before, I don't believe, it does fit her character. It does make sense with her character, so that is very nice. And she also gets to do a lot in this story as well, and you know, while she does get to be afraid of the clowns, it's not kind of like in the stereotypical sense where it's just screaming. She kind of like tries to stand up to them and whatnot, and does it in a very tough way that's in character, so I do like that. So it shows that Stephen Wyatt did understand the character of Ace, which is very nice. And then the 7th Doctor during this also gets quite a bit of interesting stuff to do. Sylvester McCoy gets to kind of like dive into his circus roots and whatnot, because he was quite a performer before he got Doctor Who. I think he made a name for himself by stuffing ferrets down his trousers. So, well, you don't get to see him do that in this. You do get to see him do some other interesting stuff that kind of like fits with that background that he has. And so, yeah, and that's very nice to see him delve into that. But it feels organic in the story and organic in his character as well, like it did with Ace being afraid of clowns. So that's all very nice. Other characters worthy of note. Mags is quite an interesting character. She sort of like plays a secondary companion to the Doctor. She spends more time with the Doctor than Ace does in this story, I believe. So yeah, that's quite nice, so we'll say. And then other characters, oh yeah, and Mags does have quite a little bit of reveal coming that is quite nice. I like that kind of character reveal there. And so yeah, she's very, once again, three-dimensional character. So yeah, that's what this story does very well. And then you have the ticket conductor, bus conductor, ticket collector robot thing, which is quite an effective robot. Probably another scary part of this story, one that fits with the horror aspect of this. But once again, as I said before, not kind of like gothic or any standard horror trope. It's sort of like this unusual sort of macabre horror, which I really do like, and I think that just makes this story even more interesting. Negatives now. There are a couple. One thing I will say is that it feels like it was all written as one big thing rather than 4 separate parts. And while that's fine if you watch it all in one go, if you are watching it as parts, it does mean the cliffhangers are rather naff, and it doesn't feel like they're well constructed as individual episodes as such. Because I mean, the cliffhanger to part 1, I feel, is quite poor, which is unfortunate, because it's literally just a shot of Ace sighing. Part 2 cliffhanger gets a bit better, but kind of like suffers from the same thing. Part 3's cliffhanger, though, I will give that credit, that is very good. But, you know, the other two are a bit naff, and they feel like it was just... it's almost as if he was writing a 120 minute or whatever it is. Let's check the running time on the back. 96 minute. Sorry, there we go. Yeah, it's as if he was writing a 96 minute movie, and then they just found points in that 96 minute movie and cut it off, which meant that it wasn't really structured as 4 episodes as such. Which means some people may be fine with that, others may not, especially watching it at the time. It probably didn't help the story that much. But, you know, other than that, I can't really think of too many negatives with this. So I will get on to rating it now, and I will rate it a solid... I'm not too sure about this actually, so maybe not so solid. It's between 9 and 9.5. It is a very good story, not worth a 10, but I'm just trying to think whether 9 is too harsh for the story. You know, I'll be generous. Let it be known that I am not a harsh reviewer. I am quite nice. I will go 9.5. Yeah, 9 is apparently a harsh rating now, but anyway, that's all I've got to say on this. 9.5 for the greatest show in the galaxy. A very good story. Who says the show's running out of steam at this point? You know, 25 years in, didn't deserve to be cancelled really. It was just picking itself up again, picking up steam, and really the story and Remembrance of the Daleks shows that. So that is what I have to say about the greatest show in the galaxy. I hope you've enjoyed this review, and I will see you all next time. Bye everyone.